I heard very good things about it today, honestly.
Well, like it's just a typical biopic, But the guy who plays Freddie Mercury is just outstanding.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. This is playing Black Ops in the background, so
The ad, yeah.
yeah. I'm gonna try and get my desk situated to where it looks decent. And I can see the chat room.
Okay. So
That dual monitor setup, man. Gotta get there.
It's stressful. Oh, I've got a bunch of like toy things in the background. Hold on.
Hey, welcome to Captain Fire Podcast.
This is the best. We went live for this.
This is awesome.
I don't know why that was annoying me, but it was.
It's all right. I hit all my dildos and shit, so it's cool.
Mine are just off camera.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a nice display for them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, of course.
So what's up? Are we live? What's happening?
Yeah, we've been live.
Okay. Well,
Is that current 75 or is that?
That's
Where can we?
total. The current, we are at 0 current.
yes.
Let's wait for it to. Let's wait for it to pick up and go live officially at like 7. But at least we can get numbers in here for the time being.
Yeah. We're also recording to, so if people do miss this, it will be on YouTube and Spotify, iTunes, all the good shit.
This is so weird. I'm looking at you guys on the Twitch stream and
It's delayed, isn't it? Yeah.
yeah.
I wonder if I like. Never mind. I was gonna do something weird, but at my sometimes I would work at my retail job, and I would walk really 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 slow. So my manager, when he has to speed up tape to watch what I'm doing, it looks like everybody's moving really fast, but me. It's really so like that's the type of shit that I would do at my job. I'm just sitting there. I'm just walking really, really slow, but everybody else around me is walking normal. So it's like,
I hate Facebook when it comes to like trying to share link because it never like spreads. You know what I mean? Like people see that this is live 20 minutes after the fact.
yeah.
Um.
Okay. Good there.
Yeah, we still have 6 minutes.
Oh, So, well, while we have this 6 minutes, and we still are recording, Shawn, I know you haven't talked to Alex in a long time. Alex.
Yes, been very long.
How you
Yeah.
doing, Alex?
What? Junior year, I think. I know that's when I stopped playing soccer.
Yeah, that's when I. That's when I left, which I guess we'll get into.
Yeah.
Oh boy, are we in for fun time.
Well, Alex is what is it? He's engaged.
Yeah.
He has a lovely son named Marco, who's kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's not been listening today either, but he is the cutest.
I mean,
He's not actually my son. But he's my damn son. And people all the time stop us like, oh, your son is so cute, like immediately, because he looks like me.
it was meant to be.
Which is nice.
4 more minutes. But yeah, I have the same issue with my son because I look just like him.
Well, I don't have that problem because I look nothing like my daughter. In fact, she kind of looks like my old what is it? My old mailman.
Wow.
Funny
We'll
thing
get
that.
into that. No.
So what point before we start? At what point in your podcast are you actually going to get a couch that's on fire?
Well, the difficult thing is I live 500 miles away from you guys. But you guys live relatively close to each other. Um, I would have to come up to Baltimore. We would have to find a couch and we would have to light it on fire.
You know, I'd buy
Yeah.
a couch off of Craigslist or something
Dude,
and get all the
Kirby-
And the
corporate
whole
charters and all that
the
immediately.
whole concept would be to finish the podcast before it burns up. See, this is where you get your numbers from. You got to do risky stuff.
This is
Stuff
true.
that requires the fire marshal. I'm down.
I mean,
Right.
I'll lay on the damn couch and let it on fire.
Oh god.
A Buddhist protest? What's going on, Rob?
Oh my.
3 more minutes.
All right. Well, even if people don't join at 7, I think we should start.
Yeah, that's fine.
Let's
Okay.
get it rolling because the podcast audio side of the audience will be
And-
super excited about this first portion.
Oh,
Yeah.
that'd be awesome.
Sorry, I don't know all the ins and outs to this.
It's just going to be conversations. That's literally all
Yeah.
it is.
All right.
That's why it should be fun. I don't know. Let's talk about life.
I'm ready whenever you guys are.
Rob, go right ahead, man.
Whoa. Well, one thing. We have a tradition here on Couch on Fire podcast, which is
We do.
whoever you should know this. Whoever is a guest on our show has to do the intro. Go, Sean.
What's up, y'all? We are doing a podcast today. It's Alex, Rob, and myself. Well, Sean. Am I doing the proper intro?
Dude, everything.
We're doing a podcast. It's called Couch on Fire. There is no couch on fire, but this shit's gonna be lit.
Do you like that one?
We're getting
You
a little
broke
bit
up,
of
Rob?
delay. I can hear you.
There was a lag. Alex, do you hear me?
I do now, yeah.
I can hear
All right. Well, anyway, yes. So
your internet.
internet's the greatest here in
Yeah.
South Carolina.
Every time.
Every time, I know, it's always something. But anyway, so the viewers that don't know who Shawn Spann is, he is a childhood friend of ours. We went to high school with him, and he is a crazy man who happens to be with a lovely wife, and he has a child. And it's going to be fun. This is going to be a good episode. He used to be a lead singer of I would say a pretty good band. We'll see.
Yeah.
No, I enjoyed the band. We'll get into that, but yeah, for all the viewers that don't know or listeners that don't know, this is Sean. So we figured we would have him on the podcast and definitely let's get this kicked off.
All right.
So, Sean, let's just start off. I just kind of want to know what's up, what's going on in your life right now. I know we haven't spoke to you in years. I know you were in a band and stuff, but recently you're married. You're all grown up. You're an adult now.
Yeah. So I should probably start from when you guys stopped seeing me go to school.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, let's get the fill in.
Yeah. So back in high school, you guys know I was like all about music because it was all I cared about. The bad portion of that is I didn't care about my academics or education, any of that stuff. I hung around Jeff all the time.
Yeah.
You didn't really go to school much to begin with. So we basically just started playing music all the time instead of going to school.
Dude,
And,
you had a recording studio in your house, so I know you love music.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So basically, what it came down to is one day I went to school. Oh, actually, they told me that I had to have my parents come with me. And basically, they said, the odds of you making it in the music industry are pretty much never going to happen. You can come back to school, but if you're ever late again, you have to go have a meeting with the Board of Education. And me being my stubborn self back then, I said, okay, see ya. I'm going home.
So the school told you, oh, your dream is shit. So so you need to give up your dream and come back to school. And you were just like, no, fuck
Yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
But yeah,
So,
man.
and then you put your heart into it, and you created a band.
Yeah, I
And
had several bands after that kind of just like didn't go anywhere. I moved over the country probably 3 or 4 times. It all just always fell flat. The funny part about everything is that when I moved back home, I told my parents, "Hey, look, I'm done. I'm done like trying to make it in the music industry. Um, I'm gonna do the right thing, get a job, but I might play music." So, um, I actually found a group of people that are really good musically. We all had the same chemistry when it came to what we wanted to get out of this music, and it was my founding members. It was Justin Huffman, Morgan Wright, and Armand Jasari. Uh, and one day, it was so weird. This is back when MySpace happened. I got a random message from this dude named Chris Jocelyn. He said, "Bro, I love what I hear. I just need you guys to go record 2 songs and send them back to me, and I could potentially get you on a record label." So, like, at that point, I'm like, all right, well, how do I tell my band this? We kind of just recorded a couple songs at Justin's house because they recorded us all the time. And I made up a lie to my band at the time and said that they were going to record us for free, that I dished out a couple $100 out of my pocket to go to a studio in York, and those 2 songs that we recorded ended up getting us a record deal, but there was more to it after that because we didn't just get the record deal right there. The kicker was we had to drive to Cincinnati, Ohio, and play for Chris Jocelyn, who was, the guy that gave us the offer and everything. Um, so we all had pretty much gone to Justin's house, which was in Hagerstown area. And next morning, we wake up to drive to Cincinnati, and we got hit with a huge snowstorm, and there was like 2 foot of snow.
Oh wow.
was it? So let me real quick. So you had to record 2 songs for this guy. You put him on you recorded him. Everything was good. Then he's telling you he wants you up there in Cincinnati. He wants you to play for him. So
Hmm.
you're heading up there, and so you got hit with a snowstorm. That is wow. Did you ever think that was like a sign? Were you like driving up there like, is this a sign? Is this what is this? Like,
No, if anything, it was a depiction of my life and how everything kind of unfolded up
yeah,
to that point.
okay,
Because we had a van, it was a diesel van, but that thing wasn't hauling us through the snow. So we had to actually borrow Justin's dad's F2 350. I don't know, it was some redneck truck. So big raised truck.
Hagerstown, Maryland, down there.
Yeah. Don't worry, boys. I got a truck that'll drive in the snow. So we crammed up in there and drove 8 hours and played a show. Got really drunk and signed a record deal. It wasn't his label. He was like our manager at that point, and we
Yeah.
got signed, to Sumerian. But it was just, I don't know, man. I guess that those are things you kind of make stories about, but at the time you're kind of like, you got to be kidding me.
Well, it's just crazy because like you go from all these little bands. I won't say they're shitty, but all these semi good bands, and then
Yeah.
things start clicking for you, and then you're up in Cincinnati and getting hammered. So you're signed to a label.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. And it
it's just
wasn't like we were just playing any show. Like the show you were actually playing was like with bands that were massive. So it wasn't like we went up there for an audition and played for just him. There's hundreds of people that have no idea who we are, and you just kind of wing it at that point. We're used to playing in front of people we know, and then completely unfamiliar territory.
hey, well,
So you guys got
obviously.
thrown into the fire.
Uh, that's what happens in the music industry, I guess. There is no time to prepare yourself.
It seems that way. It literally seems like it's either one day you're just playing a gig, and then the next day you're on stage with a huge band, and you're just like, damn, how did I get here? Like,
Yeah, dude.
oh
Yeah.
man. Well, okay. Well, since we're speaking about the band, I the Breather is the name of the band. Um, what was what are some like what are your favorite times in this band? Like, what is your what are the highs and the lows? What's happening? What are the best times and the low times?
Let me take a sip of beer for this one. Um, Man, it's crazy. You take 10 years of a career and then you try and like cram it into like a something in 5 minutes. It's really um.
Well, no, I
So
mean, like, I'm sure there's many moments that are like amazing, but what are the ones that like if you close your eyes right now, it's the first one that pops to your head? Great times you had.
oh, there's a couple funny ones. Let's just go with the funny ones because that's good,
Okay,
man. Like
yeah,
so we got an offer to do. I mean, this is a little bit a while back, but jump from future that
yeah.
like or whatever. It'll all work out the same way. But
We've all seen X-Men: Days of Future Past.
yeah, okay, cool. So just stay with me. But so we had been working really hard to get Moon and on the right track to get good offers for tours. So eventually, in the summer of 2012, we got the offer that basically we had been waiting for like our whole entire career, and we're in a hotel room in somewhere. I think we had all just like agreed on like different royalties and splits and writer splits and all that stuff. That's stuff that no one really cares about, but it ruins bands in the background. But we were all kind of unhappy about how we're splitting it all up, and then out of nowhere, our manager calls and he's like, "So, got some huge news for you guys." And I'm like, "Okay." Because at this point, we're rolling into the summer. We have no summer tour. We just released the album in December, and we're like losing our minds because you want to be on a big tour in summer. He goes, "How would you like to tour Slip?" And I'm like, uh, "Well, Chris, I hope you're not messing with us because that's really low, man. Like, like that's not something you ask and then like say, oh, I'm just joking. You're going on this really small fucking tour, and it's not really your band's not doing well and all that stuff." So, long story short, we accepted the tour. We found out we're touring with Slipknot, Slayer, Motorhead, Anthrax, a bunch of huge bands that are like doing it musically,
Hmm.
and so fast forward to the summer when everything's unfolding. um I leave because I got a DUI on St. Patrick's Day. My life is falling apart. When I leave, I found out our guitar player was like you know getting into arguments with the DJ of Slipknot. So at this point I'm just like, whatever. I get back on the tour. um Everything's working out great. And then I think like a couple of days later after that, someone had gotten insanely drunk and broke the bathroom. And there was piss just running all up and down our aisle, like throughout the night while we're sleeping.
That's the
From
bus, right? The tour bus.
Yeah, in the bus. And the next day, we go to check our merchandise to like get more shipped out, and the piss had gone all over the merch because the merch area was directly under the uh, the toilet. So that was one of the fun highlights.
That was a
Just
fun highlight.
yeah, dude. I mean, because when you hear things are going shitty and then
Yeah.
something like that happens, it always brings like at the end of the tunnel, and you're like, okay, that's funny. You got karma. That's pretty funny.
I mean,
Um,
okay.
And he breaks up again.
He's on tour. He's on tour with Slipknot, and the next thing you know, there's piss running down and out.
but yeah, I mean, like, there's a lot of other like fun things. I mean, one
Well, I
of the
like
first. What's
one of
up?
the things that you were saying. So, like, a lot of people don't know this, but like you were saying when you were going over royalties and where the money's going to go and all this other stuff, you made a good point saying that that can make or break a band. And
Yeah,
a lot of people don't know the behind the scenes. They just think it's album tour, album tour. But realistically, there's so much other shit that's going on that can really hurt or make a band. So that's crazy.
yeah. I mean, and like not going to negatives right now. We'll try and keep it you know
I
optimistic
got
at
you.
this point. And
I got you.
there's many other good times out on tour. I had my wife on tour. Um, I was actually
Ooh.
dating a girl at the time, and I think she was like doing Suicide Girls or some stuff behind my back. And I'm pretty sure at that time my wife ruined me, and that girl was in Las Vegas with me at the time. And I literally walked back in my hotel room and told her and her friend to leave, like just be gone, like you're not gonna do like that stuff behind my back. And
Yeah.
then fast forward, um, I'm playing in Chicago, and she is at the show with her boyfriend at that time, who was friends our friend's band. I just got yelled at by my guitar player because I was smoking weed in the back, and he was threatening to quit. And I come out, and it's funny because she still ridicules me to this day. She was like, "Hey, like, how's it going?" And I was like, "Hey, what's up?" And I just walked by her. And then like now here we are, and I have a kid, and I'm married to her. It's just funny that we like look back on that time, the first time we ever met. Oh God. Um, and that's like
And
our
that's his son.
our memory of our first time meeting each other. Yeah. Oh God.
Well, that's crazy. I mean, that's cool though. That's cool because like you were doing what you love, and she just happened to be there. So not only she got to experience that before she even knew you, but it's awesome.
Yeah, it's funny because like like going down the road, and she's like, "You talking?" And I'm like, "Do you remember the time we met?" I literally walked by you and said, "Hey, what's up?"
Okay. So did you? I mean, how did that work? Did you approach her? Did you say, "Let's go out"? What was the first date like? I mean,
Dude, with me and my wife, so I remember one day she posted, because we had been friends for many years, because like
yeah,
this is back in MySpace when I first met her. So when she said hi to me at this show, we had spoken before, but like it wasn't like we were like we haven't met, so it was weird for
yeah.
me. And I had a girlfriend at the time, so I wasn't about to entertain anything or make her boyfriend jealous or whatever. But so years go by, and she's like, bad boyfriend after bad boyfriend. And she posts on Facebook one day, "I'm so tired of guys, like I give up, blah blah blah." Me being me, I love my challenges. I go, so if I fly out to Milwaukee, will you let me take you on a date? And she goes, sure, I guess. And like, we start talking and stuff, and then, that was that. Like I flew out to Milwaukee, and everything hit it off. At that point, by the time I got to Milwaukee, we had been talking for, I don't know, maybe 2 months. And I'll always remember this. She's leaving for work, and I had been there for maybe like 2 weeks at this point. And she's like leaving, and I go, "I love." And I stopped, and she's like, "Wait, what did you just say to me?" she's, yeah, I'm like at that point, like, do I like say what I was gonna say or whatever? But it was all good. Like I told her I loved her, and that like I was happy I had these feelings for her, and that was that at that point.
Now, were you still in the band when this all happened? Was it still
Yeah,
the
that
band was
was
still together? Everything was
that
going.
that was when the band was like getting going. That was
Okay.
after Mayhem Festival at Slipknot. We were working on an album which would be called Life Reaper at that point. We were getting ready to release the third album. Everything was going great.
Oh, so all this crazy shit that's happened to you is finally starting to, it's starting. You're starting to see light at the end of the tunnel. You just met this girl. Well, you didn't really just meet her, but you just
Yeah.
started talking to her. Your band's starting to go good. Everything's starting to go good. And then, well, what happened? What happened to the band?
So basically, that's a difficult question. I had been telling myself for the past week, I'm not gonna do any bad on anybody. And the most I'll say at that point is we had business differences, going back to what you said earlier about split. Um, and things in the back end business wise that wasn't how I wanted it to be done. I went from making money in my band to the last 3 years of me touring. I was making no money at all. So here I am in a situation where it's not just about me anymore.
Yeah.
I've got a kid I have to feed on the way. He's not born yet, but I know it's coming. And I had to make a decision at that point. Like, I'm not making any money. I'm living my dream. I've already done what I wanted to do. I've toured, Canada, America, Europe, Australia. I've done that. But it kind of came down to the point where I had to put my dreams away for the future of my family, and the money wasn't coming in. My wife wanted me home, and at that point, she had left me because I wouldn't stop touring.
Yeah,
Because
I mean, I was gonna say that. I was gonna say even if the money was coming in, you would never be home. I mean, that's a thing that I mean, a lot of musicians have that struggle,
yeah,
internal struggle. I mean, that's an internal problem.
yeah,
Like you're just sitting there. You wanna, you said you have your son's on his way, and you're. I mean, even if like I said, even if you were making that money, you would have, knowing you would probably still choose family
yeah.
because you have a I've met your mom, your dad, your brother. You have a close family, so like
Hmm.
knowing you probably would have did that. So even if you were making that money, so I can see that. That's cool.
It took a long time though, man, because when you're in the industry, your brain just gets warped. That's why they always say these things like, you sold your soul to the devil or the Illuminati. Like it's not a figurative speech where you're literally going to the devil and saying, you've got me, but your life becomes so entwined in what your label wants, what your management wants, because management, label, and booking agent aren't getting paid unless you're on the road.
Mm.
So they're all filling you with, oh, it's fine. Look at all these other singers that are doing it. Look at all these other musicians that are doing it with the kids. But dude, for me, I don't care. This guy's savage right now on the chat. Sorry, bro. I got home from work and I didn't change.
Okay. Oh man. Well, so so that pretty much just you did you guys just mutually just say that's it, it's over, it's done? Was there a
I
phone call? Was it, or was it one of those, like whatever?
it kind of came down to like we had a chat with the label, and
Yeah.
then I kind of threw the curveball. It was
Okay.
like, well, if that's the situation, you know, I'm done. And like I love everybody, but I got to think about me first at this point, and I'm not benefiting. Like I said, I'm not making any money,
Yeah.
which at that time didn't make any sense to me because our last tours, we were making the most money we ever made, and still somehow no money was going into my pocket at the end of the day. Just wasn't adding up to me. So I was like,
Yeah.
"Goose, see ya."
Well, I mean, you've been friends with these bandmates. I mean, they had to understand that, like, I mean, not to pry too much into it. I'm sure some of them were upset because they were, happy they were in a band and they're doing the thing, but they had to, in the end, they had to be like, it's cool. You're doing it for your family, you know.
The kids, man,
Yeah.
the kids. I love and respect him. I haven't spoken to him since. I've tried to, um, but there's bad blood there, dude. There's no understanding. There's no, there's no, you know, I don't know. Even on my way to my wedding, I reached out and was like, "Hey, like, someone answer a phone. Like, let me talk." You know what I mean? Like, I need closure. You probably need closure. Like, let's be grown-ups about this. But it never went to that point.
Really? That's crazy.
Yeah.
So did you not prep them before that conversation with the label, or did they just disagree with your decision?
I think maybe there's some underlying uh, hatred towards the decision. But at that point, it wasn't like I didn't inform them. They knew where I was going in life, so it wasn't. I came out and said it, but it was kind of expected. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
The hammer finally falls.
yeah,
Yeah.
like you see the carpenter coming, and the house is going to be built, and then you're mad because it starts to be built. You knew he was coming. Like, there was a baby on the way. Baby was born. No money's coming in. Connect the dots here. You know,
Damn.
but
Life. That is life.
but dude, I'll put it to you this way, man. I've never been happier. Like, I'm happy in my and everything that happened in my life previously taught me so much, and I'm happy about that, dude.
Well, what are you doing now? What's life bringing to you?
Well, as the guy said earlier, who wears a suit to chill at home. Um, I just came home from work. I work for Verizon. I have to wear a suit to work. Sometimes when I come home, I don't feel like getting in the sweatpants and stuff, so I don't like wasting my clothing, so I don't want to wear multiple things. Help my wife out a little bit, but
You know what? I'm the
Honestly,
same way. I'll wear my work clothes all day. I don't care to get out of them.
yeah, because when I go to sleep, I'm wearing my boxers. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Like, why change
well,
into
that
sweats
answered
at that
that.
point? You know.
That answers that question. Cross that off.
Ooh. I mean, Rob, if it's with you, there might not be any boxers at all.
Oh man, don't make me tell stories.
I
So
can't freeball to bed. My wife absolutely hates when my junk like sticks to her back.
I, I can
Isn't that the
understand, I
worst?
guess. We're
Yeah.
worried about the little one running in all the time because he does that and he'll just like camp out, and we're like, we can't be naked in bed.
Oh man.
my penis is just too small. It's embarrassing.
Damn boy.
Anyway.
Ugh.
Damn it, lost my train of thought. God, I love.
I know, man.
Getting old, Rob.
I am getting old. Okay, so you work for Verizon. That's all. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Honestly, I enjoy dressing up. I like wearing suits. I like wearing a dress shirt. I like it. It says something. It's like that Mad Men, that Mad Men, that TV show. It's like it
That's
just
a nice
says,
pocket square you got, by the way.
oh yeah. It's a bit.
Yeah, the funny thing is like my dress wear hasn't changed much because when I was touring, I was wearing a black blazer on top of like a semi-casual look
Yeah.
with it was like kind of like a GQ with a little streetwear, and then I start working now and here I am back in a damn blazer. I can't escape. And, and I'll be the first to say I don't like ironing my clothes all the time. And like,
Yeah.
hey, you put a jacket on, all the little creases and stuff underneath it kind of just disappear.
They actually make wrinkle free shirts now. By the way, I found out.
I need to buy like
Recently.
6 of those.
This guy on your guys' chat is just like, he seems like one of those spoiler guys. Like I would never want to have him on my
Oh,
Facebook
wow.
if I was watching The Walking Dead.
Oh man, these people.
Oh, wow.
Did he scream for you?
I am so impressed by that. In a not good way. Oh, here, I'll just spoil this for you.
Yeah.
I'm there
We-
for the
we all-
journey anyway. Like, that's
we
just
all-
my position. I don't mind spoilers personally, but.
But sir, you're an asshole.
Who does that?
Oh, all right. So, what brings me to the next. The one thing that I wanted to ask, is I'm friends with you on Facebook. I see it all the time. Talk to me about Madden. Talk to me about games. You have definitely stepped up your gaming a little bit more than you used to. Now, what is your favorite game? What do you like to play? What is your platform? What do you do? What is
So I play Xbox. When I first started gaming, my mindset was, well, maybe if I play Xbox and people have to pay for this shit, that I'm not gonna deal with douchebags all the time. Little did I know that years down the line, I would still be stuck because I've invested all my gaming career into Xbox. That yeah, there's still a bunch of little pieces of shit out there.
I
That's
I
not going to
think,
change. It's the nature of humans. Honestly, there are enough of us around that are just assholes.
Yeah,
It's statistically implausible for them not to exist.
yeah. So my go-to is Madden. I my kid is off the wall right now. I apologize, but
Family-oriented
Madden-
podcast. We understand.
oh, he's like 2 rooms away, but he's so loud.
He's got vocals like his father.
Yeah. You want to say hi to him? Jude, come here.
Dun 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 dun
Eric,
dun
come on.
dun dun dun
There
dun
he is.
dun.
You wanna say hi?
Dun dun
The
dun
future.
dun dun
You
dun
wanna
dun.
say hi?
Welcome to the internet.
Here, come here.
This is so shy. I love it. I love it.
Hey, Jude, they want to say hi. No?
No,
Oh, look.
he is. He is.
Here.
At
All right, well, there goes their chance.
he
This
is
is
just.
delightful.
He is at that age where he just doesn't want anybody to look at him.
Dude, my kid gives absolutely no fuck. Like, he just doesn't care. Like, he's the type of kid that, like, if you're, like, burst out here, I gotta take a shit.
Mhm.
He's, like, 2 seconds in, like, boom, 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 and he literally scares the shit out of you, and then you're like, okay.
Does do you let him play video games? Does he play video games?
You know, the crazy thing is that I got, like, a scuff controller, and, like, I don't really use my Elite controller that much anymore, and he
Yeah.
literally sits next to me with my Elite controller with the batteries out of it.
Oh,
Many
okay.
people would punch me in the face for putting a $170 controller in a kid's hand, but if he enjoys it next to me, so be.
Yeah, it's
And-
more time with him, you know.
I mean,
And
that's-
you don't tell me what to do in front of my kids, sir.
That is. See, I mean, that's just today's world. I mean, think about it. If it was like years ago, you'd be, doing something totally different. But nowadays, us as parents, that's how we bond with our kids. I mean, my daughter, she pretty much, she's 3, so she chews on every damn thing right now. So, she chews on the controller. But other than that, though, she
Yeah.
she plays with it. So I can see that. I do know. I think we were doing a podcast, or I was talking to Alex, and his son's trying to get better at reading, so he's walking around playing Pokemon. I mean, come on.
Yeah, the original Game Boy version too. Like we've got him in a Game Boy Color,
wow.
Pokemon Blue, and we're
So
using
there's
that
a
to
lot of-
practice reading.
A lot of dialogue there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
He's
Well, I mean,
he's
I-
good though, man. Like for me being in a Christian band and then learning about it, like I've just learned to be free, and I'm so glad that my like son has kind of like not understood, but like he's grown around that, so he doesn't repeat stuff that we don't make a big deal about. So like me cursing sometimes, he may rarely drop an F-bomb here and there. I mean, we're talking once a week.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's habitually like, telling people to F off and stuff. So,
you have to be naive to think that kids nowadays don't know cuss words. That's stupid. I mean,
Yeah.
even on regular cable, they're saying ass and stupid shit. So it's like,
for me, that's not even a bit. That's not like my son literally has so many manners. He treats people with respect. He says thank you and please. That's what I care about at the end of the day. But yeah,
He's got he's got
back on
more-
the gaming stuff. Like,
yeah.
yeah, that's what I care about.
Like,
I'm
do
all
you,
about-
Do you,
what's up?
Do you stream? Do you stream? Do you?
I used to stream and I didn't have Jeet around as much during my free time, but now it's kind of gone. I would stream, but like when I play like football stuff,
Yeah.
it can get exciting. But I'm also the type of player that I'll literally throw away a game in 2 drives and then I'll come back and win. And many people don't like to come into a stream where like someone's down and like it's kind of like stagnant and then like out of nowhere it turns. I'm trying to get better at other types of games because Madden is like that's my
You go to.
Yeah.
that's my go-to. If somebody beats me in
have that
Madden,
game.
yeah, if somebody beats me in Madden, then they should be crowned because I don't know, not to be cocky or anything. I just know football. It's like fast-paced checkers. If you're good at checkers or good at chess, you're good at it.
I don't know what you just heard, Alex, but I just heard a challenge.
You go right ahead.
I
I'll only accept challenges in Smash, Brawlhalla, or Rocket League.
We'll,
No Madden challenges here.
We'll talk about the challenges off.
Have you done any competitions or anything? I mean, you sound like you're pretty good.
I used to play competitions back in 2012, but then they made esports arena and stuff like that illegal in Maryland, so I'm not gonna play for free.
Well,
So
yeah, I mean,
Go
if
Maryland.
you're good at what you do, you might as well get paid for it, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, man, this guy just needs. Why he wants to be a moderator, but he's just like a negative point.
that's life though. That's what we have. We have negative
Yeah.
Nancy's everywhere.
I feel like my wife made a username and she's over there. Trash.
That's her. She's like, yeah, I'm saying all this shit right now.
Fight me.
So no.
Are you ready to be on it? You wanna say hi?
Hi.
I don't think they could see you.
Oh, we can see him.
Oh, come here.
Andy's
Come here.
Well, he can't see me. I don't know why I was waving.
Oh. Why are you so shy right now? You're a little rock star.
We're gonna ask him questions. So
Easy killer.
easy. Oh man.
He's not even shy, which is crazy, man. Who's this?
Everybody
These
has
are
that moment. Everybody has that moment in life where they're kind of shy and stuff.
I'm on OTV too. Yeah, it's crazy, right?
What do you So I got a question for you. With so like what do you do now? I mean like for hobbies, because you know you're married, you have a son, you're working probably full time obviously, and like what do you do? I mean it's for a hobby.
I outside of. Oh, there he goes. He's opening up. You ready to come say hi now? Come on. No, but I play Ultimate Frisbee.
What? Really?
I would expected flag football or like soccer or something. Ultimate frisbee? Full contact?
Sure. You know how much skill Ultimate Frisbee requires?
No. There's no beef. I just wasn't expecting that.
No. Yeah, I mean
No,
like, that is wild.
Right. All right. Yeah, Ultimate Frisbee's great. It's like football and soccer mixed together. So I'm like all about.
Yeah.
Huh.
And then video games, and my son, and in the summer we do a thing called geocache. If you've ever heard of.
Oh yeah. I've played around with that when I was stationed out in New Mexico, and it was a blast.
Yeah.
I've never heard of it, but yeah.
It's perfect for Jude because he thinks it's like a treasure hunt. You see a map and yeah.
Oh, okay. I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like a GPS
Pokemon
enabled.
Go, but like. Yeah.
Yeah. A GPS enabled treasure hunt, and you take something, you leave something. It's really interesting.
Okay. That's pretty cool. That's just it's so wild to me. Ultimate Frisbee is definitely a sport. I mean, I've seen this thing. I mean, it's getting more recognition every year. But I think it's crazy because I know you. that you're playing this. It's just it's just different. I mean, we all when we know each other as young, when we're in high school and stuff, we all think we know which way they're going in life, like certain people.
Yeah.
And it's always wild to see where everyone is now. It's just outrageous.
It is crazy because you have like really popular people that like. Yeah, they're not so popular anymore.
Yeah. Well, it's just. I mean, there was people that we went to school with that are like in jail for murdering people.
Yes, there is a couple. Do I know any?
Me.
I know one of them. His name was Shawn. I forget his last name.
That's probably for the best.
Yeah, he. Well, I can tell you real quick. Sad story, and this is pretty sad. But he molested and killed his infant daughter.
Wait, I remember a creepy Sean guy who went to school that I kind of think could be him. Did he have a sister, cousin, or something that went to school with us?
I think he had. I think he might have had a brother. His brother recently just died over drugs, but that's pretty much everybody and where we grew up at.
Oh,
All right, babe, can you please come get him?
He's going crazy. He's going rogue.
I think my dad's going crazy.
My dad's going crazy. Mom spaghetti.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Why are you yelling at the mic?
What is So I know we covered a lot and everything, but what's next? What do you want to do with your life? What's next? You want to work for Verizon forever, or what's happening?
What's the retirement plan? Got that 401k?
Well, I mean, I want to know. I mean, I don't know what I'm doing. Let's just say, look, I'm 32 years old, and I am just raising my daughter. I'm married to my wife, and I still don't know what I want to do with my life. I mean, so it's still kind of scary. But do I really have to know? I mean,
No, sometimes that's the point. For some people, Shawn, are you still rambling, or have you picked a path yet?
So here's the little thing about me.
oh, here we go.
I don't plan. I don't have a fallback, and I make it work. So,
So you were the Renaissance man.
yes. So what I'm saying is, when I'm 55 and dying, I'll figure out a way to.
Worry about it then.
literally-
All right.
You're literally describing the way I play Red Dead Redemption. I mean, hands down, I just go wherever the horse takes me, and if people get in my way, I shoot them. I mean, shit happens, right?
I've been compared to Far Cry, so I'm a little.
Oh, okay.
All right.
That's crazy. No, I mean, I always thought, like, because music was such a big part of your life. I always wanted to know if you would, I wouldn't say get back into the music scene as a singer, but more of,
Like a
behind the
producer
scenes
or something.
Kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I just don't like people in the industry.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
Well, why don't you? Yeah.
No,
mean,
I
you could be the
get
one
that.
Change
You
it.
could be the one that changes it, but like you're asking me to do so much work and probably not much payback while I have to
Yeah.
focus on a kid at that point. Bands at a point in time, and I think we're having issues with. No, we're good. I was managing bands, and it just sent the new generation where you're and how lazy and how much they expect things to just much worse in the music industry. So I'm not about to sit here and make some kid that thinks I'm just gonna hand him something because he can sing a couple notes the biggest deal of life, or help him make the best album of his life, because it's very rare to find a musician that actually deserves what they're working for. Because people can pick up a guitar and play a couple of notes at their music, and their singer can sing a couple notes, and they have a fucking producer come in and create their lyrics and meld. I ain't about that. You know what I mean? I like natural, raw.
Well, I think I agree with you. Dead. Well, I wouldn't say dead, but the old ways are definitely dead, because with social media, with like, for instance, I mean, like, you can be YouTube famous. You don't need a manager. You can manage yourself. Like,
Right.
you can, so I can see it definitely changing. It's eliminating jobs for one, but it definitely is definitely changing. So yeah, that's a good point. It's definitely changing.
And it's pan music too. It's not isolated in rock. Like the SoundCloud rapper phenomena exists, and it exudes the same entitlement that Shawn was talking about with the young kids coming up in rock. Like, everything is super easy now, and we don't have a good context for how easy our lives are now. Like, our grandparents were starving, flat out.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
we've got food for years.
Right?
Like,
We literally do.
yeah. So there is that cultural shift, and we haven't gotten used to it yet.
It'll come, and when the time comes, I will reassert, and I'll try. Because that's one thing I've always learned about me is that no matter what position I am musically, I'll make it work. Just like I do when things hit last minute, I'll make it work. So I know that at any given time, you could put me in a studio and most likely go in there and write some good quality music. Might need a couple days or two, or I could go into a studio with a band and help produce a good album if the heart's there. So it's not like I've completely given up on the aspect of it. It's just
Yeah.
not now. I haven't seen anything that's worth my fucking time. I just haven't. Like, when was the last time you heard like a new band come out that was, holy shit, like, damn, this
I
is
have this
good.
I have this conversation with my wife. One of the few things that we bond over is music, and we both agree that the scene that we grew up with is totally gone,
Hmm.
and or it's underground, and it's just kind of one of those things where it's like,
I don't feel like
it's
digging
just,
for it anymore. With,
yeah.
with
I mean,
Dude,
how
me neither.
prolific everything is on YouTube, Spotify, and everything else, there's no reason to have to dig for it.
I mean, dude, can you guys, Rob, you probably remember this. Remember, like, the drive-through record DVDs where you had
oh
Finch,
yeah,
the starting
yeah,
line in the early November, and, like, dude, that's what made me want to play music.
dude. I remember. It's one of those things where I, I would go to their website, Drive Food Records, and you can literally buy a record with all those bands on there for $2 and just pay $5 shipping. But
Yeah.
it's just and then I just heard some tragic news. People that live in Maryland, the Record and Tape Traders is finally closing after 40 years.
Yeah.
So that definitely shows you. I mean, the music is just it's. I always have this debate: is it the music's changing, or are we changing because we're getting old?
It's
And
both.
You
With the
Man,
proliferation of all the tools and stuff, like Fruity Loop Studio or Ableton or literally any of the thousands of tools that exist, the market's just super saturated. The supply's gone up,
I,
so
I like
demand
have
is
this
decreased.
conversation all the time with, like, not just my friends. And I'm gonna put it here. I'm gonna flip the podcast. It's my turn to interview you guys for a second,
yeah, shoot
or
it
ask
ahead.
ask a question.
I'm a Leo.
Yeah. So here's the mind blower first. All right, let's start with movies.
Yes.
Right. What was the last comedy classic made?
Ooh,
For me, I would probably have to say I really enjoyed Wedding Crashers. That was a pretty good one.
But do you really think? I granted it was a great movie. But was it like the
Naked Gun
caliber,
33 and a
like, as
third.
to where, like, you're half baked, or like your movies like that were like a staple in the industry for comedy?
I feel like the comedy movies that are more successful are great, but I think the movies that weren't successful are great. One of my favorite all-time comedy movies of all time is Black Sheep, with
Chris
and a
Farley,
lot of
yeah.
people, yeah, a lot of people don't like that, but I remember in fifth grade watching it and laughing my ass off and crying. That was like one of the last times I actually cried watching a comedy.
What about you, Alex?
That fuck
Naked
rolled down
Gun
the hill.
33 and a third was the last classic comedy to be produced.
Naked Gun.
Yeah.
Naked Gun.
Yeah, no,
What the
and
fuck is
that's a
that?
little obscure. It's like Airplane, but
Yeah.
with a spy
Okay.
movie.
For the newest
Hilarious.
It's like it's a parody movie. It's making fun of things, but also has its own story.
Yeah, like, would you put like Super Bad and like or Pineapple Express into that classic category?
Absolutely not. It's
No.
a contemporary classic, absolutely, but they're totally different breeds of comedy. Like the Chevy Chase, Dan Aykroyd era of comedy is wholly classic. There's no beating Bill Murray's Deadpan
Now,
or
Yeah,
John
there's no
Belushi.
fucking Night at the Roxbury coming. There's
Yeah.
no, like,
yeah. Well,
yeah.
I also think that in 15 years,
these movies that you're listing that aren't classics will be classics to people our age now.
Then, yeah.
So it's just,
Bullshit. There's no way. There's no fucking
No,
way.
super
You
bad.
tell me that.
Are you
Super
kidding?
bad.
No,
Super bad's
that's
great.
That's like exactly what humor was for us at that time frame.
Yeah.
Like it is so
It's kind of like
endemic
saying that.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's kind of like, could you imagine something like Dave Chappelle show coming out now?
A Dave Chappelle.
Ugh.
so
No,
like the show like,
Premiering right now.
yeah.
Say Dave Chappelle next. Does America literally shit his pants and just like go into a full downward spiral of comedy's ruined, or are they like, oh my god, comedy has life. There's no filters. There's no.
Yeah, I feel like it all goes back to like the 90s itself. You could be raunchy, you can say what you want to say, you can be racist, you can be anything, and people's feelings can be hurt as much as they would now. And I feel like comedy, a lot of comedians now rely solely on politics to make their thing. And to me, I don't find that funny, because it's like, okay, how many jokes can you make about Donald Trump before it starts getting old? And
It was funny for the first year.
Yeah. Well, it didn't even last that long for me. Like I couldn't make it through the election cycle before I was bored with it.
Yeah. Now I will say this: if you look at Donald Trump, you're gonna laugh. But
Oh yeah. Have you seen like the statues and stuff they make out of him?
oh
That's
yeah,
pretty fucking funny.
in other countries, right? And then they destroy
Yeah.
it and do some dumb shit.
Have to blow. They have to blow up. With
Yeah,
the,
in London.
The, but yeah,
man.
let's not get into a political downward spot. Deal with that shit tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna be a shit show. We'll see.
Oh, you're gonna vote?
I feel like my wife and her family would decide, and probably my family too. I think yeah.
Sorry, my
What?
sound was being retarded.
We got a Twitch machine unplugged. What is that?
Oh God, I don't know what that is. We always have technical difficulties. That is life. I am 500 and some miles away. So what's happening?
Yeah.
Are you okay, Rob? Are you feeling isolated?
I am pretty lonely over here on the beach. I had to wear shorts today. Sucks.
What other crazy stuff can we talk about right now? Now that we're
Well, all right. So, Shawn, I really haven't got a chance to, tell the viewers or the listeners at home a funny story about you that they haven't heard. So I have this.
Can I have a beer before this starts?
Well, you can get up. I'm gonna tell them the story. No, I'll wait.
I'll crack the beer in front of you. Hold on.
All right,
yeah,
we
Alex
are
is gonna
at
be
an hour, by the way.
That's fine. I'm gonna tell them the story, and this is gonna be hopefully the closing ceremonies of this.
All right.
Oh look, there he is. Hey Shawn, you shrunk.
We got a brand new streamer on our hands.
Shawn, you got really small, Shawn.
Oh man, he even laughs like me.
Honey, you shrunk to Shawn.
Oh my god.
Oh man. All right, so you ready for this? You ready for these? I'm gonna, we're coming up to an hour, everyone. We're gonna end this podcast on a funny note, and I have a great story about Shawn. What's kind of two stories into one, but I'm gonna quickly tell them. So I've known Shawn. I think I met him in 8th grade on the bus, but we really didn't start hanging out or talking until high school. And in high school, we had a group of friends, and we always used to do dumb stuff. Unfortunately, Alex wasn't a part of this. He was on the other side of Joppatown, where we grew up at.
Yeah.
It was like different boroughs, if you want to say.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, basically. And so we were on a side called E-Town. And so we used to do just dumb shit. So one day, my uncle, love the guy now, but before he was an asshole. He used to have a cattle prog, right?
Oh God!
And he used to try to wake me up, like just jabbing while I was sleeping. I mean, nowadays it's definitely child abuse. Back then, it borders. Um, but so so I stole it one day, and I go down the street and I start joking with it and playing with it. Then I go over to Sean's house, and Sean and Jeff and John and I think Josh Martinez was there. We were all just hanging out, and Sean had this great idea. He was like, "Put it up to the doorknob, and I'm gonna touch the doorknob on the other side. Let's just see if the electricity goes through the doorknob." Sean, did that electricity go through the doorknob?
If I remember correctly, I may have pissed my pants.
Yes. I
I
think
can't see you not having pissed your pants from that exchange.
we used to just do some crazy stuff. I think one time it was cicada season, and Sean and I would fire them up and eat them.
Yeah,
so be
dude.
fair. I never got the chance to try
we-
them that year. I wanted to.
We were mixing batters in his parents' kitchen all damn day.
Yeah. Sorry, Mom.
We were doing some crazy stuff. But no, I mean, I have lots of memories with Sean. I think that's one of my favorites. I mean, that, and he used to have Christmas ornaments outside. If his parents are listening, I do apologize. But we used to jump off Sean's roof and then try to hunt his Christmas ornaments. So
I remember those bushes are gone.
Are they really, dude? I haven't been. My grandfather still lives in Jobbtown, but I don't really go back that way too much. I
actually still live in Jobbtown. I live in Rum.
Oh, nice.
We're
nice.
actually looking
Dude,
at the place on Rumsey ourselves.
Dude, that's the fancy part of Jobbtown, by the way.
Hey, it's in an island.
I live
Right on Shore Drive. If
I
heard that
graduated
correctly.
to the bro. Yeah, that's where I live, man.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean,
You should've-
so
What?
I had to get the fuck out of Harford County in Maryland.
Yeah.
We're looking west hard. It's weird in Maryland in a lot of ways.
Well,
We're
one of
getting
the
ready.
things. So Sean, I know you don't know this. Quick, to Hawaii, back. I moved to Hawaii again with my wife, and then I moved to North Carolina, then South Carolina, and then.
So where'd you
I'm at
fuck up in Hawaii? Like, where'd you fuck up there?
No, Hawaii was great, dude. Cost of living is high as shit, though. Like we paid $15.60 a month for a 750 square foot apartment. $15.60 for that big. So basically, the room that you're in right now, maybe a little bit bigger, but it was
So like, yeah, that's pretty tough.
Yeah, it was, but I lived in downtown Waikiki, so I can walk to the beach, and everybody who's anybody, musicians, athletes, or actors, anytime they come to Hawaii, that's where they go. That's where the beach they go to, because that's where they teach you how to surf. That's where the big statue of Kamehameha is there. It's just, it's awesome. It's a cool place. But
Yeah.
I left Joppatown because I started hanging out with the wrong people, and I went down a really dark. And the only way for me to get over that path is to leave Maryland 100%. And it's probably the best thing I ever did. No offense to Maryland, it's great, but unfortunately, if you make a wrong turn in Maryland, you get stuck. So I'm glad.
Oh yeah, once you go down that road, man. Thankfully, the road that I went down included beer and marijuana, and not really anything else.
Yeah. Now the beer, mine totally was the other way. But that's another day, another time for the podcast. So
Yeah, that's many people here.
so we are gonna call it a show. I hope everyone enjoys this.
Right.
I hope it was fun. I would love to do another episode with Sean and just literally talk about music, because there's so many things I can go down with. I mean, there's new albums that just came out with bands that I know you like, that I like, and I want to talk about them.
Dude. Maybe we can make a thing out of it.
Yeah, maybe that'd be pretty awesome. I mean, I do come up to Maryland sometimes, I got to go up there because my friend is up there, and I'm
Not saying names
Shout
on
out,
that one.
name drop.
Please don't.
Yeah, yeah. Her name is Aunt Jeanette. No, I'm joking. Anyway,
Wait, that's
no,
my
so,
aunt.
what? I have an Aunt Jeanette too. That's crazy.
Did you guys
Yeah,
just
man,
become best friends?
That's a good comedy right there. But yeah, so thank you everyone. I hope you enjoy it. Obviously the podcast is growing, so I appreciate the love and support. This video, we're actually going to split it up in 2 parts. So part 1 hopefully should be up in the next couple days, and then part 2 will be up in the next couple days. We'll have the audio on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, all the good
The
stuff.
whole works.
So the whole works. So stay tuned, and yeah. Thank you, Shawn. Appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Appreciate you coming
Boy,
on.
what do I do now?
See you, bud.
See you, man.
See you.
That's actually a clean position to punch the stream on.
Stream on. Oh, end it. Like that?
The stream is off now.
Okay.
And the